Matthew Guy has been returned to the Victorian Liberal leadership, setting up a rerun of the last election. Michael O'Brien was denied that chance to lead his party to next year's November state election. More than half of his party room voting for a spill this morning. Cutting through as an opposition leader in the COVID pandemic has been near impossible. Whatever jurisdiction you fall in and whatever side of the political fence you sit on, that's Matthew Guy's task now. And it's a bit of a problem. He has a job ahead of him to give Victorians a strong alternative. Let's go live now to Julia Bradley. She is in Melbourne for us. And he's promised already that he'll have some meat on the bone, some detail on that later today.
That's right, Laura. We will be hearing again from Matthew Guy, the returned Victorian Liberal leader, in just over an hour's time, we believe, and it will be at that more formal setting where he'll outline the new plan for the opposition as an alternative form of government. The key focus for Matthew Guy now will be moving away from the party infighting that's really been plaguing the opposition for the last 12 months or so. This is the second Liberal spill that Michael O'Brien had faced in the space of 6 months, and there was certainly plenty of unrest in the party. The hope is that now that this was successful for Matthew Guy, the vote really carried 20 votes to 11. The hope is now that they leave all of that behind and they can focus on the issues that matter most to Victorians. We've already heard a bit of that from Matthew Guy when he was speaking outside of the Liberal Party headquarters this morning. He said he's really focused now on COVID recovery.
David and myself have been elected today. It is our job to lead us to the election in 14 months' time. We will have a clear alternative for Victorians. We'll begin to articulate that today. A plan, not just for lockdowns, but for recovery, to be positive about our state. Victoria's best days are ahead of it, not behind it, and we should be focused on that.
Yeah, so that is the new team. 14 months away is the election. Michael O'Brien, as I mentioned before, Julia, he's not going to have that opportunity to go to an election, but he did handle his defeat today very graciously.
He handled it very well. He did admit that, of course, he is disappointed, but in the end, he didn't decide to contest the leadership. And he said it was really down to whether he lost his job or lost his integrity. He said he's never been one for the political games, and he said he'll be able to sleep soundly with the decision that he made today. He also took the time to really encourage the Liberal Party to stand behind new leader Matthew Guy and present a united front.
Now is the time for all Liberals to get behind the Liberal leadership. I think that every Liberal leader deserves support, and Matthew deserves it no less than anyone else. So it's important for Liberals to now be united, to get behind the new leadership team of Matthew Guy and David Southwick, because we have got a job to do and we have got a state to save.
Matthew Guy previously held the position of the Victorian Liberal leader back in 2014 to 2018 before there was a devastating loss for the Liberal Party against Victoria's now Premier Daniel Andrews. They lost 11 seats. Labor gained a swing of about 5%. Matthew Guy and certainly his backers today hoping that he can put all of that behind him. He said a short time ago, speaking on radio, that he believes that he's learned from that. He's able to come back fresh, and he also made the comments that maybe Daniel Andrews would be more humble if he lost his first election. So we also did hear from Liberal insider Michael Kroger a short time ago.
The brand was toxic. So it was toxic because of the way the leadership battle came out, and the post-election polling we did showed that 30% of voters in Liberal seats had turned off the party because of the leadership schmozzle.
Matthew Guy's plan for the opposition will be made a whole lot clearer when he does speak outside Parliament, we believe, within the next hour or so, Laura.
And Julia Bradley, thank you.